Good morning, guys. So I thought I would do a little Sienna vlog today, obviously because I'm not competing much at the moment, or not competing at all in fact, and only have Artie in work who's just doing some hacking. I thought I would do a few little sort of, zoom out a little bit, there we go, a few little sort of bringing on, producing young horse vlogs. And today I thought I would do one on voice aids, because obviously it's one of the early things you want to be teaching them. Sienna was a complete blank canvas when I got her. I've only had her, I think we're coming up 3 weeks, and so for me the most important thing is that she gets used to my voice, she knows my commands, because obviously long term I'm going to use those for long reining, lunging, and eventually when I do back her and sit on her. So that is where we're at the moment, doing a bit of work in the school. I've done quite a bit of work in the field, but now she's starting to come up and do some work in the arena, because obviously it's good because it means she has to separate from Corporal, her field mate, and having to start to learn that the arena is somewhere she would do work, also a chance for her to see the poles, that kind of thing. So I'm going to bring you along with us, but first of all, she's an absolute hippo for mud, so I need to give her a bit of a brush, pick out her feet, and then take her in. This is the moment I dropped my selfie stick / tripod down the pipe there, which was really frustrating. So I had to just put my phone on the fence. I don't know how interesting this is to people. It's not the best videoing in the world, as I say, because I had to just prop the phone up. But at the beginning, I always spend just a bit of time walking around, getting her to just follow, keeping a little distance in front of her. She finds this really confidence giving that I'm in front, and I trust that she's not going to run me over. Here you can see she does get a little bit close, so quite often what I'll do is I will just either ask her to go back, or I will sort of spin the rope towards her. Obviously, I mean, I've never had to touch her, but that will often send her back as well. But she's never worried by this. And I spend quite a lot of time just stopping and just letting her relax. Here I'm putting some pressure on her sides and getting her to turn a small circle. This is great because obviously at some point she's going to have my leg there, and it's important that she starts to get used to that feeling, that she's used to moving her body to that pressure. This is all taken, by the way, from the TRT method. But she's very good at this, and this is something that I'd not done before, but I thought, gosh, this is such a good idea, because obviously, at some point my leg is going to push on her sides, and she's going to have to learn to move away from that leg aid. So this is really important, and as I say, she's very good at it, and she listens and she responds nicely. And then off again, I take her for another little walk. I like to mix it up. I don't do sort of certain things for too long, and she's very good at following me around. I mean, admittedly she's quite steady, but that's fine. She's not bothered by poles or anything like that, so it's all just very relaxed, very calm, just trying to make it all enjoyable and easy for her. You can see she's super relaxed. I love that she really looks at me for guidance and sort of what's next, and I feel like even after 3 weeks that's so lovely to see anyway. Again, I'm kind of waiting for her when we're in those rest periods just to drop her neck a little bit. We've been working on trying to do a little bit of trot, which you've just seen in the clip there. She's not great at it yet, but it's work in progress, because obviously I'm saying trot on, and I want her to follow that aid, ready for when we start long reining and lunging and finally riding. Again, doing a little bit of that small circle, putting pressure on the side of her stomach. Gosh, the video is going really quickly. I can hardly keep up. I've edited this down. This was in the end ended up being about 30 minutes, but lots of breaks for her. So I've shortened it down to 10 minutes. Lots of, just pats, reassurance, but mainly just lots of time. Here I put on some front boots. She has had front boots on once before when we went and saw her, but I thought I'd put them on again. And actually I must put back boots on next time. Just again, want her to stand still, so just being patient, waiting, making sure she understands that she needs to just stand. And putting on some fluffy front boots, obviously. And she was very good about this, very chilled. You see patient, waiting really patiently, which is lovely. She's not fidgeting. And I love that, she walks off, she just picks her front feet up nice and high, but not for very long. Again, didn't seem to bother in the slightest having boots on. I'm dreadful with having a long rope, absolutely dreadful. Again, then I went back to just getting her to do a little bit of following, a little bit of listening, and just sort of, in-hand work from that point of view. She does like to get a little bit close. I quite often will send her back when she halts just a step or two, because she's not too close, but I would like her to be a little bit further back. Here is something really important, which is obviously you can see I'm standing on like a half barrel thing there. Obviously often when you stand above a horse, they find that quite threatening. So it's something I like to do a lot of work with. And she, though she didn't get upset by it, she definitely was like, oh, what are you doing above me now? And obviously at some point you can see there, she just puts her ears back when she feels a little bit unsure. So spending a lot of time stroking her, you know, getting her used to that feeling of my hand, and, you know, at some point there's going to be reins there and everything else. Also, I move the half barrel around. Obviously this is to hopefully at some point be able to get on her from mountain block. This takes a little bit of work, you know. Obviously initially you can see she's a bit reluctant to come and stand next to it, and she's not used to me asking her to move like that. So you can see I just get off, and again she's not, you know, she's not 100% sure, so I move the barrel, and that's fine as long as she then understands to stand. Again, you can see just doing a little bit of work, patting her, reassuring her, and then getting above her. Again, a lot of horses don't love it when you get above them. So again, just keeping her calm, relaxed, telling her everything's good. And again, I think I did it again because she actually might have moved off. And you can see, so now I'm just stood here quietly with her, just giving her a moment to think about it. And then I'll get back beside her and practice them like mountain block part. But it's really important to give them lots of moments where they just stand quietly and just think for a second and just relax. So you can see here she's being really good, standing beautifully. And again, I'm just using my hand to just sort of stroke across her body, get her just feeling that, you know, my hands will be across her neck, her back, that kind of thing. But she's been super good here. I was really pleased with her. Here, I'm slightly out of shot, which is annoying, but I did a little bit of rope work. And actually, I've got a longer rope in this video, whereas normally I have a slightly shorter one. And initially, she didn't like it massively. So it took a little bit of time just to remind her that this is okay. But I like to throw the rope back and forth over her. Get used to it kind of landing on the floor, making a bit of a sound, trying not to be too delicate about it, which I think can be hard because you think, oh, I don't want to upset them. But, you know, they have to get used to that feeling that the reins will go wherever, and you don't want them to panic about it. And, you know, it could go over her back and all that kind of thing. So obviously when you long rein, they're going to have to get used to the reins or the lunge lines going wherever. So a really important step, and I like to do quite a lot of this. You can see I don't mind if it flicks her stomach or anything like that. You know, she has to get used to that feeling of them kind of going everywhere and anywhere. So I'd like to do quite a lot of that. Here I was doing a bit of patting with my hands, something else I quite like to. Again, just mixing it up constantly, not doing anything for too long. Here patting all over her body, so along her neck, along her back, along her bottom. Just again, it's just good for her to feel that, you know, you can stand anywhere, touch her anywhere, and she's not going to panic. You can see she's very chilled about it. She doesn't get too bothered about it. So there you go, I'm just doing a little bit of that. And then here you can just see my little head bouncing up and down. So again, preparing her for one day being, you know, for me getting on board, a little bit of me jumping up and down beside her shoulder, putting a bit of pressure on her withers and her back. So again, this is for future getting on. And then I go and do it the other way, but I forgot to do the hand patting the other way, which is very cross about. Obviously, it's always important to do things both sides of them. Again here, excuse my baggy jobbers. Again, just trying to do again here. She just moved forward, so I just asked her to go back again and just wait. And then did a little bit more jumping up and down. She's probably thinking, what are you doing? But again, it's all preparation. And to be honest, I was so thrilled with her. She was such a good girl that was enough. And this was only her second time in the school. And so excited. She is such a willing, lovely mare. I'm so excited about her.